downtown Abilene. Well, my name is Crow, and I'm here with my special guest today, Kevin Schkade.
Hello.
Yeah. Tell him a little bit about yourself, Kevin.
I am an artist and, I guess, horticulturist. I said that correctly.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Where do you stand politically? I'm just kidding.
It's right out of the gate.
So we were. I was thinking about getting into like all the big news and all the important political stuff, but then I realized like fuck that. Let's just talk about the things that we find important and the things that we find funny. Let's be selfish with our time. We have 1 hour a week. That's ours. My name is on the show, so therefore we're going to talk about what Crow wants to talk about. And today, what I would like to talk about is something that got brought up a little bit earlier, and it's the fact that a motherfucker survived a plane crash today. And I just want to give a to that guy. Like there was what was there like 200 people that died on the plane. R.I.P. to them. But one dude made it. He walked away. He got up and walked away. So shout out to that guy. We'll be sure to pour one out for his homies. And yeah, I just want to say that me and Kevin are the two most offensive people I've ever met. And I think that this made the perfect like chemical reaction. I think that people are gonna love this.
Sometimes I think I have Tourette's in a bad way.
Me too. I would like to also show off. I did some art today. As you can see, there's a dog, and there's I think that's me. I don't know, but he's got a balloon, and then the sun is shining, so that's important. Kevin's an artist, and that's why we have him on today. He recently did a live show with me where he painted in the background, and his show was way more entertaining than mine was. So let's let Kevin talk about his art a little bit and have him show you some of his work, and you guys can see the weird world of Kevin Schkade.
If you want to see, actually, I got the wrong notebook. If Sam, can you bring me my other notebook that's in that bag? If I'm going to show people some art, the briefcase that's near Justin, other direction.
We came sexy and unprepared.
Yeah, I didn't. No, I just need that. Yeah. No, it's all the things in there's like markers.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and like
Justin T. Walker.
Thank you, sir.
A man of mystery.
All right. So just want me to like go over some of my artwork.
Yeah, let's go over it and let's spend about 5-10 minutes talking about some of the themes and what you believe in and where what your art stands for.
Go that deep.
No, we're going that deep, buddy.
So as far as artwork, I don't really have a rhyme or reason. I'm pretty much freeform, like the show we did. My game plan going to that show was nada. It was I'm gonna get on the stage, listen to the music for like a couple of minutes, and then figure it out. And it ended up turning out into some. I think everybody said it looked like a Stranger Things character, but I haven't watched that whole show, so
I can
let's
see
take
that.
their word for it. And on that occasion, I don't really ever plan out my artwork. It's kind of get my pen to the paper and then figure it out as I go. I just let my brain kind of just spill out onto the paper, whatever's happened in that moment.
Are you like me in the sense that you kind of want to fucking offend people and you want to trigger people just to because you feel like it's healthy? I
don't know if I want to do that. I do have, if you want to call it an art kink, where I like to take subject matter. Take subject matter that generally is either uncomfortable or weird for people, and I like to make it where those people actually like it, like they enjoy it.
I learned something new today. There's something called an art kink.
When you're interacting with your audience, yes, I guess the reactions I get, I like to get those. I like to have people who hate clowns actually like a picture of a clown.
That's a really good way to put it, man.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the same way. I feel like I am a fucking clown for a living. So, thank you for that. You're doing us a service, making people love us again.
Entertainers are kind of dancing monkeys in general.
Indeed, especially in a market like this where entertainment is so undervalued. And I don't know if I think that art is so much more than entertainment. I think it's such a important part of society. There's, you know, I mean, think of all the people that you know and that I know personally that without art of some sort would probably not be good for society, you know? So I think for me, your art speaks that. Your art speaks to that side of
I definitely have moments. I'll show you a couple of things. Like when I've gotten really, really depressed or mental health moment, I draw a certain way versus when I'm just having fun.
Absolutely.
And we are in Men's Mental Health Month, I guess you could say that.
That is very true.
So in the case of that, if you're having a bad day, I like to explore more of the surreal, like simple things. So like stuff like this. There really isn't detailed or does anything. It's just funny.
I love that picture.
And you go along, we'll sew a couple of these.
It's kind of like one of those like catalogs where someone like slowly loses their fucking mind. And
I did like all of these in like one shift at work one day. My coworker was worried about me, so.
I don't blame them at all. That green one's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, like I like some of these are almost like caricatures in a way, and I don't know what you want
it's
to show
fucking
here.
What's weird to me and what makes me feel like I'm a strange person is that Kevin's art is like oddly fucking relatable. And I don't know why. I look at it and I'm like, yeah, like I feel that way too. And I don't know what that means, but
You don't know what that means? Just
It's-
looking
it's-
at stuff
yeah,
that
it's
shouldn't be looked at.
I look at
We're
something
not
and
gonna
I
show that one.
That was
Yeah,
beautiful, man. This dude's definitely to me he's probably my favorite visual
Or, like,
artist that I've ever met.
Grain theory caricatures that don't really.
There's nothing like sitting in public with Kevin and having him draw people that are sitting around us and like hoping that the fucking person doesn't see it.
Oh, this lady actually came up and liked the picture that I drew, but I didn't tell her it was her. So I
That's
don't know if
wild.
that is-
That's some vile shit, bro. That's
I wasn't prepared for that.
crazy. Hey, which one is that?
No, it's not.
No, okay, we won't go there.
gonna go
Fair
there.
enough. That one's beautiful. See, this is the type of shit right here that you do. That's like,
This
it
is
just blows my
This
fucking
is one of
mind.
my buddies wanted something that would work 2 or 3 different ways and wanted some psychedelic type of look and just a simple drawing.
It's definitely
My brain.
It's definitely good to stimulate the brain with shit like that.
I don't know. The fact that this notebook's almost full is kind of. Like,
That's what it is, though. Like I feel the same way. Like my whole notepad is full of lyrics and shit, and some of them will never get used. And I related a lot to what you said, where it's like sometimes, like if I'm feeling fucking playful, I enjoy those studio sessions a lot more where I'm feeling playful than I do when I go up there and I feel like fucking dying, you know, like. And I'm sure that Justin and anyone that's ever worked with me on a musical level can attest that it's definitely 2 totally different experiences artistically, dark and light. So I definitely relate. And you can tell by looking at your art, like which ones you might have been in a different headspace for, you know? So I always thought that was cool that you can visually tell.
I like, and I'm weird. There's sometimes that being in a large group of people and just being by myself and drawing is actually a fuel. And I can let all the random conversations around me kind of fuel what's going on. And like see, we were
Absolutely.
talking about grain theory. I mean, this is the last one I was working on, still didn't finish.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is like Monday this week, and Justin was doing his thing over there, and so I've got a ton of unfinished crap. Let me just tell you that. And my ADHD is a dream killer sometimes.
I feel that. And you touched on something a minute ago that I kind of didn't even realize to bring up, but it is Men's Mental Health Month. And I think that's something that is super important to bring awareness to. A lot of men and women lose their lives every day to their own demons and their own thoughts. So just know that there are ways to channel that energy into positive things like art, drawing, writing, playing an instrument, going on a walk, just staring out the window at the birds, doing something besides letting your mind be consumed with negativity, you know? So I just encourage everybody to keep your heads up and go draw a picture. Like, you know, for me, I know that one day when I'm dead and gone, this will be worth millions of dollars and they'll appreciate it. And they might not appreciate it today, but they will one day. So
Just gotta find the right market for it.
it's got to find the right market for it. Exactly. So on another note, I was looking into some news today, and the Diddy trial getting pretty fucking out of pocket, man. This dude was a menace to society. If they don't keep that man locked away forever, I mean, I will truly be scared. Like, that dude really is out here on some fucking crazy shit.
And they just released some of the Epstein file names, actually, instead of that.
Let's go there, too. Let's fucking go there. Last week, Elon Musk came out and made some pretty bold tweets about our commander-in-chief. And I just wanted to say, you know, all these rich dudes get into arguments and shit. It's like, if you knew, whatever the fucking case is, I'm not a political guy. I don't care. I'm team meteor hit the fucking earth. But if you knew that Trump was buddy with Epstein, why did you wait until there was some sort of tension in the camp to bring that to the public spotlight? To me, that makes me feel like, oh, it's a childish game, but you knew something that was important.
It's a distraction.
And you kept it low key. So to me, I don't know, man. I think that with all this Trump, Diddy, Epstein, fucking Musk shit, rockets going into space, pop stars getting launched into space, while there's children fucking starving here in our country, I just think that it's important to keep your political horizons extremely broad, because everything can change. Your leaders will let you down. So just want to let you know that I'm an anarchist. Not really, but in the sense that I truly do believe that giving us two options is showing its fruit, and we have the results of that, only having the two options that they give us. But yeah, I think that the Epstein list thing with Trump and stuff, like anyone that knew about that's just now coming out about it, they're just as guilty. And I don't know, that's my stance politically. Fuck all those people.
Well, yeah, I thought the funniest name, or the most humorous name that was on that list was, Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, I saw that.
If you want to find a little humor in all of it.
Hey man, you know what? We live in a fucking crazy world. It's okay to find humor in it. I saw the Bobby Lee Santino perspective of it. It was pretty funny.
It's these days you have to find humor in all the crazy crap, this clown world as we encounter it with social media and everything.
Take me to the island. I want to go. That's crazy, man. How do you even get him over there? Is there a special plane?
Handicapped people are allowed on planes. I don't know if you know that.
I fucking learned something new today.
Yeah, you don't have to have working legs to ride an airplane.
I always wondered about that. That's crazy. I think that I'm not really surprised by any of the names on it, to be honest with you, because it's like I was talking to someone the other day, and they're like, "Oh, Eminem's on it." I'm like, "Are you fucking really surprised? Like, have you ever listened to the dude's music, man?" Like, I'm not surprised by any name on that list, and anyone that comes out on it. I'm not. Every single person in Hollywood, if you go out to LA right now, it's a fucking ghost town, and it's because of what is going on with Diddy and stuff, because everyone left, everyone bounced. There's nothing exciting going on there anymore because everyone's scared, because they're all involved in dark, nefarious fuck shit, and the dark is being brought to the light, and they don't want to be exposed. So
I mean, when I was in LA and ran with the art community and was around celebrities and everything for a little while, it was a lot of talk of these weird parties with like blood rituals and different kind of death rituals. Not necessarily that they were killing each other or any kind of medical thing like that. What was it, Flatliners movie or something? But it's kind of a glimpse into that kind of environment. But
there's definitely a lot of dark shit going on in the celebrity, and I spent enough time with like people out there to know that there's a weird side to shit, and all these things that they're trying to distract us with are extremely irrelevant compared to the fact that there's hundreds of thousands of children every day being trafficked and sold and killed and disposed of, and no evidence at all. And we just sit back and we worry about the Diddy trial, and we worry about the Tesla stocks and all these things like that. But our whole world is burning down around us. If you look out your window, as you see, the economy is completely collapsed. Nothing is helping. Everything's getting more expensive. The inflation's going up through the roof. We're all holding on for dear life. So I think it's important to keep a sense of humor and really put on your fuck the world mask these days, because I promise you, the world wants to fuck you. And that's wise words from your Uncle Crow.
And if you ever wanted to be a punk person, now's the time, because we're all getting forced into that environment. Yeah, every common man's having to deal with the stress level. Everybody's having to work multiple jobs just to make the real ends meet. It's pretty bad when eggs get up to like freaking, what were they at? Almost like $10 a carton.
I've never. I'm
12,
gonna
like
be
a
real with you.
dozen.
I've never bought a fucking carton of eggs in my life. That's the one thing I've never got to experience. So I don't know. And I think that milk is a conspiracy to slow us all down. Have you ever drank a big ass cup of milk and then felt like, oh fuck yeah, I feel energized. I want to go like be a human today. No, I drink a cup of milk and I feel like I want to die.
I'm actually allergic to milk, so I don't really
That's fair. Like
relate to
you
that.
remember in school? See, and it's like another thing. It's like in school when you're a kid, and you get to school at fucking 7 a.m. and the first thing they feed you is like like a cardboard fucking carton of milk, and then a plastic cheese like bagel pizza thing to and then that's what your body's processing all day while you have to fucking learn. And then they're having you go to PE and shit, and they're wondering why the obesity rate's through the fucking roof. It's like, quit giving them milk and fucking cheese for breakfast, dude. That's why you have all these fat kids running around. I'm a fat kid. I could speak from experience, by the way.
Wouldn't that make you tired?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes you fucking, it makes you lethargic and tired. Like, to me, it's...
I mean, honestly, I slept through most of the classes anyways when I was in school, so I didn't need any help.
You wouldn't say.
No, dude, I had ADHD real bad. I couldn't pay attention to a teacher. I'd fall asleep.
Me either.
I learned in college I had a Game Boy, like one of those flip ones or whatever. I forget which one it is, like a DS or something. And my professors actually let me play on it during class so I wouldn't fall asleep and I could pay attention and take notes. So that was a blessing. Shout out to Hardin Simmons on that one in the art department.
Shout out. I did a show at Hardin Simmons once. They got a pretty rowdy little crowd. Are they a Christian school? This Hardin Simmons Christian?
They're Baptist.
They're
One of their
Baptist.
alumni, though, do you remember? Sam knows this one. The professional poker player. This Hardin Simmons alumni that they don't really acknowledge. You've never. He's one of the old school ones that used to smoke cigars on the tour and everything with the cowboy hat on. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but
Don't you love that?
yeah, he's an alumni, and that was always interesting. He always reminds me of that Kinky Friedman politician guy that was against the decline of cats in his campaign.
I'm against the declining of cats as well. I think that, especially in today's world, we live in a big, scary world. Imagine having to be a fucking cat without claws. Let the cats keep their claws, people. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? I can't believe I have to say this. I have an hour of my time, and I have to spend a minute of it telling you guys to let the cats keep their fucking claws. On that note, a lot of exciting things are happening in our camp right now. Along with a lot of fucking stress, a lot of like challenges and obstacles. But I just recently put out a new EP that I'm trying to really, really push. I think that people are gonna feel it. I think that people are gonna understand it. I know that the world is, as a collective, super fucking angry right now and super upset and super just disappointed in the leaders and stuff. So I think that this music that I'm making is definitely fit to the climate for that. And I say the same for Kevin's art. I think that we're living in the end times, people. We're living in the end. I truly do believe that, and I don't mean that in a religious sense. So my whole message with everything is fucking do what you want to do. As long as you don't hurt anybody, do what the fuck you want to do. Chase your dreams. Be artistic. Scream fuck the world. If you want to go throw a rock at a fucking window, just do it, you know? Be prepared for the Actually, don't do it. We don't endorse that here at the CROWshow. But
just take into perspective the other people around you.
Yeah.
Don't do
if
stuff.
If it's a victimless window, go ahead and throw that fucking rock through it, you know? But I don't know if there's any such thing as a victimless window, so I retract that statement.
The owner of the building has to pay for it.
That he does, yeah. Well, hey, man, it's part of the game, I guess. But yeah, I think that Abilene is it's a melting pot of so many different cultures that it's hard to find your footing in this scene for sure. And they definitely have a favoritism problem that really does, and it oversaturates the market with the same shit over and over again. And I think
it's the crabs in a bucket.
Exactly. Yeah, no, for sure.
Here, definitely, and especially with the art community, there's so many artists. And yeah, especially with you in the rap community or just music in general, my stuff in the art community is so different than most people's that they don't want it. I had that problem when I tried to get into the center. They didn't.
It's a very tight knit, like fenced off community that is very what's the word? closed-minded to outside individuals coming in with something different and something that might spark like, I don't know, a deeper reaction than the average splatter paint bullshit that I see everywhere I go. I'm sorry, but I think that
You're talking about the corporate
corporate element of art.
I mean, that's what
the modern.
all of us are dying from, the unoriginality of the corporate method that came through with the movies, especially in the last 20 years. Just the regurgitation of the same bullshit over and over again.
I don't see anything truly abstract anymore. Like everywhere, I go to these galleries and it's just the same. It's like they're all trying to copy the same concept, you know? But I really am excited to see where the scene goes. The city's growing, obviously. They just put a hotel downtown, or like a huge hotel downtown, a Hilton, I believe. So that ought to bring a lot of new culture in and stuff. There's a lot of construction going on, and
that airport that they just started.
To me, downtown is completely. It belongs to the art community, in my opinion. At least in my time in Abilene, it has. I'm sure it hasn't always been like that, but I feel like I look around right now and I see all this stuff happening, and it just gives me a lot of hope for the scene. It's like something as simple as more fucking parking downtown opens up so many things for people to come to shows or to come to events and stuff. They're opening their minds and realizing that things need to change here on that level. I just wish they would be quicker with their construction. This town is insane how slow they are.
Yeah, and they need to take into account the average. This town, like we're talking about, has a lot of different kinds of artists. So many different kinds of artists, and most of these people are not rich, and they can't afford huge vendor fees for these events and everything. They can barely afford to get their own inventory for the event to make some money so they can pay their own food for their children and them, or bills. And it seems here in the last 6 months to a year, things have been, like we said, getting more expensive. Also, just trying to be involved in the events for the art community has gotten a little more expensive.
How much did you say it is just to go and
for Car Walk?
Yeah, just to go.
I applied for Car Walk, and it was $75 fee or $80 fee this year.
That's wild, man.
And I never heard back from them, but
that's wild.
I have a bad, I wouldn't say bad, but a weird relationship with the center over here. So
I'm so anti restriction on that kind of stuff. I think that it should be part of our rights is what we are to be able to sell art on the streets of our country. I find that so insane that you have to get a license to go perform. Or when I was in Salt Lake City, I was busking for a little bit, and a police officer walked up on me and kind of he gave me a ticket, and he told me that I have to go get a license to busk. And they throw a lot of challenges at artists as well, things like that, things that make it harder to pursue that as a normal thing. It could easily be anybody's full-time job going out and selling art on the streets if it wasn't so restricted.
Well, it's because the city views it as their loss. An artist doing that for free, they could be putting something there to make their own money, but they don't, because a lot of places are tourist zones, so they can't put too much there, especially like Venice Beach. It's that way in LA when I go there.
Oh yeah, LA is bad, and I guess that's where I differ. I guess that's where that's when you talk about the line that I walk that divides me from the others. It's that I truly do believe in a sense of freedom, where I believe in being able to say whatever the fuck you want to anybody you want, however you want. But I also believe in facing the consequences for those actions on a worldly level. But I think that freedom of speech should also be transferred into the freedom of expression, the freedom of moving your art to the world and stuff. They restrict it so much. They want control of everything. And I will let you know right now that I, as an individual, am completely against that for you, and I encourage you to open up your mind.
If you don't know who George Carlin is, go watch his material. Rest in peace to him.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That's what I know George Carlin from.
And to watch his stand-up.
But
it's
yeah,
exactly the same things we're talking about.
I think that my goal for this show is to have the more dark-sided, controversial-minded people on this platform to come on here and talk about their thoughts and their perspectives, and really just to piss off all the normal people living in the suburbs that want to see us fall down. That's my biggest goal here, is to make you mad. If you live in a mansion on the hilltop and you wish me harm, I'm here to piss you off. And I think that, I do want to acknowledge my 2 pet crows as well. They've been with me through a lot. They've sat with me through thick and thin. They've been there for a lot of shows. I felt like they deserved the shine. These crows are a different kind of crow. They're from a region of South America where crows are colorful because they get a lot of sunlight. So, on that note, this was the Crow Show. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. And if all goes as well, and Lord willing, I will see you next week to blabber and blabber and blabber more and more and more about shit that means absolutely fucking nothing to you. Thank you very much.
And
this is Kevin.
thank you for having me on. And here pretty soon I'll have a painting.
Thank you for being on. And thank you for being so patient with me as I tried to learn how to pronounce your last name.
Dude, I grew up with people butchering my last name, so I'm good.
I see how. Thank you.